Namaste. We're doing a series on my experiences with being a medium and death and how I perceive it, what happens after death, and sequence of events, right? In this video, we're going to talk about what happens to the soul who remains and they don't go away into the light when after death. So, what happens to them? So, what happens according to me? I mean, I've seen a couple of souls who are here for their loved ones and they have not passed away when the time has come. In spite of, as I told earlier in the previous video, every year during their death anniversary, the portal of channel opens up for them and they will be called upon, they will be summoned upon because it's not healthy to stay in the earthly plane in soul form and there's a risk of you turning evil. How will you turn evil? We'll see into the next video. But at least at this point, we'll talk about what happens to those souls. So what happens is when they remind back, um, they they will be there in the place where they're very attached with. Like your like say for example, I've seen some souls who are very attached with there's a maybe a tulsi kota pranganam in their house, so they sit there all the time. So even now they go back and sit there only, and they operate from there. So they will be visiting their loved ones and going back as their home. And then there are people who's very, they don't have objects, but they're very attached with people. So they very much live in the same room that their people are living in. And then there are souls. These are from the cases of love, and then there are cases where there are people who are burning with revenge. So or that they're they're waiting, they're scared to go into the earth, leave the earth plane, so they're waiting for their loved ones to also die. Sometimes I have seen a person who went and sat into the chakras of another of one of my clients who is they're feeding on them like all the time. So that is where this person got sick, and that's how I met him kind of thing. Because they want him to, unfortunately, that's how some of the souls operate because they're very scared to go all alone. So they try to harm their loved ones so that they both can together go. That's also I have seen, and I've convinced someone and put them into the light. And then there are some souls who openly, even it's like possession. I am not very specialized in such cases of possessions, but I've spoken to them and requested to why is this happening phenomenon. Then they said they want to they are like a host for them, so they try to feed upon them, get energy from them, and try to harm them also in this process so that they die and they both can go. Okay, so that's also I have seen some souls doing. And then there are other souls who are they're like so loud, they love the louder one so much that they can't leave. So recently I have spoken with a soul who committed a suicide, and um, that soul is actually the parents and the boy has a very great bond, and it's a unique case I've faced where usually when people come to me, they say, please put us to light, and they easily go because they'll be waiting for this opportunity. But for this soul, he doesn't want to go because he wants, number one, he doesn't want to go. He's a very young chap. By mistake, he fell down and he wanted, everyone thought it's a suicide, but it's not a suicide, but it was an accident. So he wanted to communicate that to his parents. So when they're doing this Narayana Bali and this kind of homas, he was literally hiding. And the father was so spiritual that he could experience his son being there in the room and stuff. And when I spoke to him, it literally cajoled him, invited his whole family of people who are in the heavens to invite in the level two, which I told in the other video what's level two and where what they're doing. So even because in the people in the level two of the heaven, they just can come for a brief time. Okay, so we invited them, and then it was more like a giving a lot of confidence to the soul, and then finally putting them into the light. And then there was one other, because this was a very uh, new case, like just died a month ago kind of thing. The portal was still open and you could do it. Um, uh, uh, there was a case where there was a nanny who was like 14 years into the same ancestral home, and I've seen this phenomena happening with a couple of times also, where there is a figurine like Garuda Pakshi, Garuda, like the Vishnu's wicked Garuda. So it comes like angel with feathers. And when I asked, who are you? The angel said, I'm Garuda. So he comes and see, the soul is supposed to go when the light is portal is open. He didn't go at that time. The soul didn't go because of the loud words, the loud words. And again, every year, the soul keeps asking. You know, like the God comes and says, "Come now, let's go." But the soul says, "No, I don't want to still wait." So during those times, it happened with couple of souls I have worked with. This guy, usually he doesn't come. But when this late entry into the, because when I try to put him and then the Garuda angel comes and says, I don't have a big connection with him yet. I just know that this bird has come. This form figure in this like Garuda. And then he says, I'm taking this soul for the next level of clearance, like purification, Panchabhuta clearance again, with air, fire, light, then Akasha, ether, and then Bhumi. I don't know what happens, but I see that they take them for 4 days and then they say, okay, after 4 days, you again put them into the light. I wake up after 4 days, I again I communicate with the soul through the people on the earth, and then they say, let's do it around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever time. Generally, it takes 4 days. After fourth day, I'll put them into the light. At that time, again, it will be their the soul's God, like their Kuldeva, or whatever favorite god, Baba, Guru, saints, many people I've seen, and then their family members, all of these come and then take them into this level of purification channel. And after that, they reach there and they tell me how many days it will take. So for few people, I heard them saying after this 4 days of purification, it takes 8 days. For few, it took 10 days. Then there was a soul who was so attached with the sun that they thought that the daughter-in-law won't take care. So it was also there. And suddenly it wanted to go because they say that once they uh, s- uh, the energy gets depleted, right? Keep on, like they become very transparent for me when I can't make out the form very clearly when I see it, and they feel like the energy is getting depleted. That's when not every I only with people I know, maybe as a request. Once loud ones talk to me, then I can speak with the souls. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't uh, I don't entertain much maybe. But once they do it, then when I talk to them, they tell me, "Can you please talk to my whatever son, daughter? I wanted to go into the air, right? So can you facilitate?" This is all a very trust-based process, but fortunately, I met people who trust me, so it was a smooth process for me also. And then they tell me some small rituals that can you ask my son to do this, my daughter to do this, and stuff like that. It's small things. And once they do it, the loud ones come back and tell me, "Okay, I feel complete. I feel like my father has reached this place. Like I'm not able to sense him. I'm not getting dreams about him and stuff like that." So I also feel good about it. So this is what is the next video on what happens to the soul after. So there will be this Garuda Swami who comes up to it and then put him into the tunnel. The next video, let's talk about when they turn evil. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe in case if you haven't, so that we can learn, share knowledge, which is sacred wisdom, um, increasing the divine connection and ways and paths and tools to enhance it. Thank you so much. Saran. See you later.